Going over to Africa is great, and it was the thing that heightened my awareness about poverty here. And I remember coming back and thinking, you cannot fly 5,000 miles away and do nothing here.
Reading through Galatians, and it kind of seemed like a random verse in there that said, remember the poor. And it seemed, just the simplicity of it was real convicting to me.
I know that's how I got started. I got invited to go work at UGM. And not knowing anything about it, it's a lot easier when you know someone else that's going down there because you enjoy spending time with them. And on top of that, you're going to go and learn about interacting with the poor, serving the poor, just reaching out in a different capacity. And through doing that, and then even in some books that I was reading, starting to see the world through the eyes of the poor, of those that are not as fortunate, just became really convicting. And suddenly you're not passing them on the street anymore. Like, you're looking at them and wondering, how did you get where you are today? Like, what brought you here?
I was driving home and there was a woman who was looking very sad, and she was sitting at the bus stop, just having conversations, spending time in the Word, and then talking to each other about, hey, are we interacting with the poor? And then the next opportunity, you see a person, your heart is at the place where, oh, I can have a cup of coffee with them. I can sit down and talk to them.
Jennifer said to me one day, hey, you have a flexible schedule. Why don't you come down with me to the kitchen? And so that's how I got started serving there.
I think that invitation part's just key, realizing that if you wait for everybody's schedules to line up, you'll never do anything.
You go ahead and go and then invite them to go with you instead of waiting for an opportunity that works for everyone to be able to go together. Because there's really no ideal situation where we could all go and do something together.
And just that willingness is there of all of us. Like, we all are equally interested. It's like you don't have to drag anybody there. If the schedule works out, you go.
My initial commitment was one Thursday from 12:15 to 1:30. And now that's several hours a week, kind of a day on my calendar, an entire day kind of marked out for South Dallas.
When you get hungry for it, like when God starts working and you're around and seeing the blessings, you'll make time for it. You'll make changes.
I think it's easy to look for kind of that perfect scenario that uses your gifts and uses your talents, and it's the right day of the week, and it's with all your friends, and a lot of waiting for that means you'll be waiting, and you won't be serving. And instead of just saying, I'm going to be obedient today, and it's going to be messy, and it's probably not going to be glamorous, and it may well be in obscurity, and it may well be stinky. And if you do, on the topic of the poor, if you get involved with them, it's going to creep into your world, and it's going to take more and more of you. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. I mean, Christ gave everything. So what's a few more hours, a little more inconvenience, or one more late phone call?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Just I think it was easy in the beginning to want to go into their world and come back out.
Being with you guys over the past year and a half has really challenged me on so many levels. To serve more, to give more. I'm definitely giving more time and financially now than I ever have before.
Yeah, it seems less scary to me to go do something that is unknown or seems maybe dangerous or outside of my comfort zone, because I just see the example of others doing it and just jumping in.
I don't see it as optional for believers. I don't see it as just certain people are called to the poor. I put it in the category more of evangelism or just giving. It's an expected norm for the believer. And so if I can't do nothing and I can't do everything, I just have to do something.